Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Bluff Outlaws in Red Bluff, California, one of the most famous outlaw kart tracks in the entire world. We're rolling into the building for another night of racing, hoping to do all we can to get the 18T in victory lane, and the night it started off on the right foot. I literally just pulled a pill. I said, I think today's our day here at Red Bluff. We pulled an 18, so that's a good start. Now, I'm not really one to believe in good luck, but I can tell you this, inside this building, you definitely have to have luck on your side. So we're just getting the day underway. We did the pill draw there, got the cars unloaded, got the factory cars out on stands, and then also got them fired up for the night. And now as we begin our on-track action for the night, first up being qualifying. This is 3 laps on the clock with a group of cars out there, and the better your lap time, the better set up you are for the rest of the show. Is underway here at the Red Bluff Outlaws. Great to be chatting with you guys. Off to a slow start in qualifying, went out early, and tonight the racetrack is almost like when I was growing up here, much younger. The racetrack always used to start out so wet, and here and there the last couple years it is, but like a different type of wet. Like, I mean, I'm talking like the dirt sticking together and hitting people watching the races down here in 3 and 4 on the wall, like just throwing a lot of material. Hasn't done that in a while, and tonight it was that, but also still greasy. We went out early, and I think that just stacked the odds against us. Not that we couldn't have laid down a better lap, but just wasn't able to kind of put it all together. Ended up 23rd. We got 47 cars total, so that's going to put us behind now going into a heat race. Overall, though, I mean, my car for the grease, I felt okay. I just didn't get a solid lap. On the one where I thought I was really going to be a good time, I just got a little sideways off of 4, and that killed some of my momentum, and that was still my best lap, kind of over-rotating on corner exit. But we're going to move into the heat race. Moving forward, though, now all we can do is focus on our job, which is trying to transfer through this heat race. Qualifying dictates your night heavily here at Red Bluff, so we're going to now be starting like 5th, and only the top 2 transfer. But if we can run in the top 2, then we'll make up for it and at least make it into tonight's main event. Otherwise, you're going to be moving through the alphabet soup. Kind of being in row 3, it's going to be chaos. All we can do, though, is get up on the wheel, try to make some progress, and take advantage of those early laps when guys are shaking things up and moving around. helped ourselves out just a little bit there in the heat race. Started 5th and finished 4th. Realistically, starting 3rd row inside, it's almost more like you're starting 6th, just because you're boxed in. You have a car in front of you, you have a car diagonal, and you have a car on your outside. Well, you're probably asking the question, well, Tanner, on the outside, don't you have that same situation? You do. You just have a better angle going into that first corner, and you almost build up a little more speed. So the inside, you don't have an option but to run the bottom. So no matter how good of a start you get, you kind of just lose momentum. So I was running 6th there on the first lap. There was a little chaos in the first turn. Then we had a restart 1 lap in, and I was able to advance a position from 5th to 4th. Almost had an opportunity to get to 3rd. I wasn't far behind those guys, just the track being so fast, everyone was just very even. Been trying to judge my car all night. I don't feel like we're necessarily like in right field or nothing. We just haven't really been in clean track. You know, there in those 8 laps, we're behind cars, and some of what I'm doing is dictated off of what the cars in front of me are doing, and just trying to have a clean lane and make some opportunity happen. But by running 4th, we're now going to be in the B main event. They just were throwing a little bit of water on the track, but even before they did that, I mean, there's still quite a bit of grip in the surface, especially on the bottom. It's still kind of soft through the middle, and there's kind of almost more fluff up here. Yeah, racetrack, like I mentioned, and I don't know if it's just because it's colder or they were just able to get more moisture deeper in the surface. You know, a lot of the track prep determines the outcome, and then of course where cars run, but a lot of guys have been running the top all night long, and it's still really, really fast. So some of the fastest lap times we've kind of seen all year across some of the divisions. But we got a B main event coming up next. We're going to be rolling off, I think, right outside the transfer spot. So we're going to have to get up on the wheel, and we got to get through that to be in tonight's A. Well, we survived, ladies and gentlemen. We started 7th there in the B main event and rolled up to the top 5 to transfer through. They were taking the top 6. I started 7th and fell back to 9th early. Same situation as the heat race. Just kind of got stuck on the bottom, and a couple guys lost some momentum, and all of a sudden the outside was like a train, and the guys that started farther back just ripped up quite a few spots. Then we had some restarts happen. We had a red flag, and finally things kind of fell into place where I kind of got in a really key position, and I was able to take advantage of it. I jumped from 8th to 6th, and then even at one point 4th, and then there at the end I gave up a spot, but was able to transfer through. Just happy to be in tonight's show. After not qualifying good, your back's just up against the wall, and you have a long night ahead of you. So we dug ourselves out of that hole, but we have another big hole to dig ourselves out of now, starting on the last row, 15th in tonight's show. Now they're on a break, so we're out here looking at the track, doing the old screwdriver test. See that it's still pretty soft. Up here is a little bit harder, but screwdriver still went down pretty deep in both locations, the top side being a little bit harder. The screwdriver test is basically, you can just see how soft the surface is. If it was rubber or if it was just glazed over, this probably wouldn't even really go in the track in certain locations where, you know, the cars are running the most. It's a simple way to kind of check what are you seeing. Is that actually what is kind of happening underneath? Like I mentioned, though, the track has a ton of grip tonight. Usually they work it in the middle, but now they're actually just threw a little bit of water on, probably just kind of keep the top a little soupy. It'll run back in, and we just have dashes and A main events. So I'm expecting this thing to still have a little bit of grip at the end of the night, but here soon should start to just be slicking off. Usually by now, though, it's completely gone. So we're rolling off from 15th for tonight's A main event. We got 30 laps coming up. Throughout the season, we've kind of started deep, and you guys know the drill. You just got to do all you can to try to get going forward. Of course, you have to have some luck come your way, but it's also about positioning and being aggressive at the right times. Red Bluff's a tough place to come through the field, but it's doable. We've seen guys win from last before, so we would love to add that stat to the book, but nonetheless, you got to keep your nose clean, and we've made adjustments all night. I think we're headed in the right direction. It has just been difficult because we've been having to try to make our car better in traffic. I think when we're in clean air, we're fine, but we haven't been in clean air all night. We've been behind other cars, so we just got to be better when we're not necessarily exactly where we want to be on the surface. But the track's getting better as well. It's starting to slicken off a little bit, and it's starting to get kind of dirty. Like the bottom is almost throwing material up to the top, and like I said, the lap times are slowing down, and I don't think we're going to see any rubber, any abrasiveness here in these 30 laps. So should be a good surface. Hopefully that leads to a lot of opportunity to pass and try to, you know, get the 18T closer to the top step of the podium. So just about as we thought we were ready to roll from the back of this feature, unfortunately we had a quick problem and had to go to the hot pit before the green flag. Well, 15th to 4th tonight here at the Red Bluff Outlaws, and we will take that for how our night began. Of course, would have liked to have a shot at, which we did have a shot at winning the race. We were right there at the end. The whole top four, you could use the term throw a blanket over all of us. We were all very even in speed. I'd love to look at lap times. I was actually in the spot though where I was a little bit stuck. I was trying to get to third, so I was the first guy to attack if the top two got going, or if I could keep moving, you know, work towards first. But the guys in front of me were just running such different lanes drastically and moving around. Like, I was trying to be aggressive and waiting for my opportunity, but I just wasn't able to capitalize. And I think both times kind of when I did was more, I made a move in 1 and 2, and it was so rough on the entry down there. It was really hard to get across for a slide job. So maybe I just miscalculated a little bit, but I feel much better about my race car. We really made some big strides tonight, and this is the first night of the winter season. I know we're halfway through. We've just had some struggles. This is the first night I kind of feel walking away a lot more confident, and man, we're here. Like tonight we drove through the field, we had stuff go our way, but our car was definitely capable of winning that race. Well, you guys are probably also asking me, Tanner, what was the deal with the hot pit before the race? We literally had the same situation as the last time we were here. Luckily, this time we were already going to be starting in the last row, and we weren't, you know, up front and had to go to the back, but we had to switch an ignition box. Something so rare that's only happened a couple times in like all 10 years of, you know, Jimmy and us having the house kart program happened back-to-back weeks. So we think there's more to that situation. We still have to kind of investigate and look into that. But yeah, luckily we were able to get it changed, and we were still able to make the A, you know, make it back out. We had enough time in the hot pit before the green. So we wanted to eliminate that problem and being in the hot pit before we even, you know, the race even starts. But overall, like I talked about, you know, we were able to run a good 30 laps, and I just wish we could kind of replay those last 10. Once we finally got up front, you know, with cars that were holding a really, really good pace, lap times were fast. Like we were just right there, and I feel like almost if like Landon was in second, my teammate, if he was able to make a slide job work, maybe in 3 and 4, 1 and 2, the track was rough in some spots, so you had to be very careful, and you had to commit and go for it when you did. I think if he would have been able to start racing for the lead, you know, maybe it would have opened it up for any of us in the top 4 to have a shot, and then whoever got out front probably would have started pulling away, but it could have really got interesting. That was what I was hoping for, because I was just really stuck, like I said, in my position, just because all the cars were kind of taking up the lanes in front of me, and I was just trying to pressure and be there when I needed to. But anyway, it is what it is. We ran a good 30 laps, and like I mentioned, we survived. Our car still is in one piece after having to pass all the cars that we did. So more than anything, I just want to give a big thank you to Jimmy Elledge and Factory QRC. Jimmy has a never give up, and you know, he just keeps pushing the limits for us to be, you know, be better. You know, we've been doing this a long time. He's been doing it a long time. You know, we've all been driving these cars a long time, but stuff just changes, and sometimes you get on your game, and sometimes you get off of it, and you have to just figure out why. But it's always the want to be better. You know, in motorsports, it doesn't matter how long you've been racing. The second you get complacent and you're just like not sure, comfortable is a good word. When you get too comfortable, then, you know, that's when guys are going to start going by you. So we're just, like I said, trying to do all we can to be as fast as we can, and, you know, make up for some areas maybe where we're lacking a little bit. But that's Red Bluff Outlaws. We will be back here tomorrow, and I'm feeling the best. I have all season confident that we have a shot to get the AT&T in victory lane, and man, I want to be back parked on the front stretch here. So thanks for watching. We will see you all in the next one, and that's our hard charger night inside the Pauline Davis Pavilion.